Okay, it is 12:04 a.m. and this is actually going to be the first and last video for the 22nd. Today I'm going to be down on the day, I think $2 and 45 cents, and that was two trades, but essentially just one with LLAP. I'm not going to include EOSC, even though I actually traded it in the video just because of the fact that it wasn't the setup I was actually after. I was looking at LLAP, and I'm starting to figure out now that VWAP is totally wrong, at least in the morning, with a lot of listed stocks. So it's making me want to consider looking at TD immediate trade more, or being more hesitant on taking setups maybe a little bit after the market open, because the VWAP level is not right. As you can see, VWAP here is 292 when it broke above it, but if you look at the trade I had with LLAP, you can see that it will do stuff like this, where it just has like this VWAP way up, especially if it's been selling off after the market open. And then it just drops all of a sudden to a random point, which this was at 1025. It says VWAP was 276. And if you look at 1025, VWAP is actually 295 at that point. Yeah, 295. So VWAP is totally wrong. I was looking at it and I did take a trade um, right around that point at 1015. Right here when it was looking like it was going to potentially break this 280 level, which was also VWAP at the time period. And yeah, I got in it, and that was at 279.7 at 1015 right here. And this one just waked me out, which sucks, but I should have had that into consideration, because I think there were signs that this was a wiki stock. You can see from the wicks here, it has a wick here. So in this case, my risk level should have been a close, like where it actually closes and opens a new candle under my risk level, which would have been I think it would have been this level right here, 276. What happened was is that it did immediately just sell off right here, all ugly and disgusting, and I got out the next minute at 275. And then this really aggravates me when, it just gets below your risk level, you cut, and then it just ends up being a wick. And it did continue to make a move to 288, but this was very ugly. In my opinion, this setup didn't really work out. It sold off, and it eventually did it later. So it did work out, just not when I was in it. I don't really consider this as something that kind of worked. It just didn't work because it was another ugly wick right here. I need to learn that if my risk level is at a certain point and the stock is, something that tends to have wicks, I need to not cut it if it gets under it, unless it opens a new candle under my risk level. And of course, I run that risk where maybe it's not a wick and it actually continues to sell off even more under my risk level. But I don't see that happen too much, so I'm willing to gamble on that for now. And as for this one, EOSC, what happened was is that I tried to buy. Seeing the setup where it was in theory trying to break above 280, and it was already making some moves above 280 with LLAP, and that one setup I took right there. I accidentally had the order box with the other stocks, so what happened was is that I accidentally bought EOSC wanting to buy LLAP. So what happened is that you can see I got out of this in pretty much, what, 5 seconds. So it was a tiny loss with that one. That was just a dumb mistake. I should have checked my order box and confirmed that I had the right stock that I wanted to buy. That's something I can get better at. I'm going to be more cautious with VWAP after the market has been open, about 10 to 15 minutes later. And yeah, I need to also keep a lookout for stocks that have wicks. Two very good lessons right there. That's it for today.